Hey there guys. So as I've been moving my stuff around this week, there are a few things that I've come across in my room, along with a lot of rubbish that I've needed to throw out, but that's another story. This is really nothing that if you look at it on face value, but this is just a box of Twix. And about a year ago, I thought I'd run a bit of an experiment. I was currently still recovering doing quite a lot to try and recover. And one of the things I thought I'd try was to buy this box. So there was about 40 of these Twixes. They're essentially like lots of little balls of chocolate. And it was just to try and highlight how making changes in your behaviour to let your eating disorder back in can be quite detrimental to your recovery. And I don't know why I never got round to posting this. I guess I must have just put the box away and not thought about it. Actually, I think it was because I was moving from placements, and that's probably why. But yeah, I found this box and I thought it would be a good idea for me to talk to you guys about it. So what exactly did I do? Well, I had about 40 of these things, and I thought, okay, I'll have one every other day, and at the start I just thought, okay, I'll eat these normally, and then I think it was about a couple of weeks into it, I thought what I'd do is while I'm eating it, I'll just take away two and throw it away. And this was something that I had been doing previously. It was overestimating what was in a particular food, and this meant that in order to try and compensate for it, what I'd do is I would not eat a certain percentage of it. And this made me feel comfortable because it made me feel as though I was eating more towards what the actual number of calories they were saying was in this thing. And this was a big obstacle for me to try and get over, and I don't really know what was going through my mind when I thought I'd try this, because I was doing a lot to recover, and trying to go backwards wasn't really a good idea, but I'm a scientist at the end of the day, and the fact that I'm still okay is a good thing. So yeah, I started doing this where I would take away two of the balls, and I just carry on as normal otherwise. And then a couple of weeks later, I thought, okay, I'll just get rid of two more. Now, about a week after that, I realised that things were actually getting quite difficult. I was thinking, oh, maybe I should try and get rid of two more without actually making a conscious input towards it. This was more my unconscious saying that I should be doing these things again. And then when I thought, okay, let's just try and go backwards now to where I was before, it was actually quite difficult. And this just goes to show that if you let the eating disorder back in, it can have a detrimental effect on your well-being. So, stupidly, I carried on and took away two more. And this was approaching about the halfway mark in the box. And so, another around 2 weeks went by, and it was at this point I thought, okay, now let's start going backwards consciously. So I tried to add two balls, and this was really quite difficult initially, and I did it, but it was with a bit of resistance that I didn't really think was there initially. And then I thought, okay, I'm back to where I was before. I've brought these two balls back in, no pun intended, by the way. And so then I thought, okay, let's go backwards now and take away those two balls. And then I went back and forth a couple of times, and it just got easier each time to go back towards the healthier eating habit of putting them back in. And I guess this shows that if you really do try and fight the urge to let the eating disorder back in, you can overcome those thoughts. And then I thought, okay, let's just go back to at the very start when I wasn't throwing any of them away. And for some reason, it was a lot easier than when I initially tried to add the chocolate back in. So, if anything, this video highlights a few things. One, that if you let the eating disorder back in, it can really worm its way back into your mind and make you start to doubt yourself again. It can bring back the unhealthy eating habits that you were initially going through. Number two, it just goes to show that if you do regularly go against what the eating disorder is telling you, it can be a good thing. I was going back and forth, and each time it was getting easier for me to do this. So it just shows that if you do actively challenge yourself, it can be incredibly helpful. And I mean, I did this completely off my own back and I didn't really let anyone else know. But I'm sure that if I let someone in and tell them about what I was doing, they would be there to support me if I felt that I was having any difficulties. Now, a few of you may think that I was completely stupid for doing this, but I hope that it does go to show that just goes to show what you can do if you really do put your mind to it. And I hope it has been helpful for a few of you. If you have any other questions related to this topic of challenging yourself, please feel free to let me know. But for now, thanks for watching.